Hello everybody. Today I'm going to do a little kind of a fun countdown thing. 5 signs that your love interest is married or attached. Because I have a lot of experience in that field, unfortunately, at my 50 years of age. But there's some really minor things that people do and they don't even realize it when they are married, but they're maybe looking to have a little thing on the side. And I'm speaking from the point of view of a heterosexual woman and speaking about men, but as we know, there's no rules. There are women also who cheat on their husbands, and there are, in homosexual couples cheat on their significant others, I'm sure, as well. So I'm going to be saying he for the love interest, but of course if you don't fit my profile, you change it to whoever your love interest is, whether it's a man or a woman. It's probably the results will be similar, although I don't know for a fact. But anyway, so the first thing is he slips up. Like when you're might be conversing, he'll slip up and he'll say we instead of I. Like, yeah, we went to something, blah, blah, blah. And you thinking, in your head, you should do this. Think in your head, he said we. Who is he talking about? Don't ask him openly when that happens. If he slips up and says we, for example, yeah, we went to see a movie this Sunday, this weekend, or wherever. So when he uses we instead of I, and sometimes they do it without realizing it, was when you're in a committed relationship with someone. It happened to me when I was married. Naturally, I turns into we. Like when you're talking, because, if it's a relatively, committed relationship, you do things together. So it's, or we moved this weekend. We moved to a new house this weekend. You don't say I moved to a new house if you're married or if you have a family. It's we. Or we went to a movie, or, things like that. I becomes less common in your vocabulary for men and for women. So, that's one sign. Now, bear in mind that these 5 things are not proof that the person is attached. It's a sign, you know. He might be saying we, and it's with a friend, a good friend of his that's not romantically involved with, so. But, it's a sign that you notice, and just kind of keep it in your little secret book of things, like you're keeping score on the guy. Because if you point it out to him and he is married, of course he's going to be more careful. He'll come up with an excuse, and from that point on, be more careful not to say it. So you don't want that. You want him to feel at ease, to just be himself, and let him slip up like this. So that's number 1. Number 2, I've said this in previous videos when I've been talking about men I've dated. Weekends, there's always some excuse on the weekend. Again, it could be innocent. Maybe he actually has a job that he works on the weekends. That could be. And you will find that out. And, if he says, oh yeah, I work as a security guard on weekends at night, that job exists. There are people who do those jobs. So you would have to do a little more pursuit secretly to make sure that's really true, that he really does work as a security guard on the weekends. But other than that, weekends are that is the supposed to be the 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, are the 2 days that the person is supposed to have free for dating and for social life. So if he's not a 9 to 5 or during the week, even on weekends, you might work on weekends, but you don't usually work at night. And so when every weekend there's an excuse that he can't make it, or he makes plans with you on the weekends and then at the last minute cancels, oh, something came up, that's sort of a way to kind of trick you too. Or maybe he thought he was going to have the weekend, but it turned out his wife, ruined his plans. So, So even when he makes plans on the weekend and cancels at the last minute, he's still not there on the weekend, you know. So, you know, that has been, with me, it's happened to me more than once. It's happened quite often that, you know, I meet a guy, he's a great guy, we go out during the week, normally, you know. But, you know, as I said, I'm tired during the week. I work Monday through Friday, business hours. I like to reserve my outings for the weekends. I'm not a nighttime person during the week, really. And if somebody's interested in you and is free, doesn't have a significant other, his weekends will be free. So just watch out for that. If 1 or 2 weekends he can't make it, okay, that could be. But if every single weekend there's always some excuse that he can't make it, you know, you don't want to be that side girl or guy. Pay attention. This has not happened to me very often, the next one, but it has happened. There's a tan line on the ring finger, or a dark mark, like a smudge on the ring finger where a ring usually is, but he might be taking off before he meets you. You know, you'd think the person would be a little wiser, but it happened like once, and it was a sign. I was like, just kind of have a quick look at his ring finger. Again, a sign, not proof, and some cultures, the Greek culture, for example, they wear wedding rings on their right hand. So look at the ring finger on both hands, because some people do use the wedding ring or engagement ring on the right hand. Usually in our culture, it's the left hand, but so, you know, look at that. Number 4, there's something that married men do, and I don't know if they're sincere or if they think they mean it at the time, but they use it. They're like the old excuse that, yes, I am legally married, but my wife and I haven't been romantic for years. We just live together. It's just a roommate situation for the sake of the kids, but we both are free to date other people. You know, when a man says that, you know, again, there are cases. I actually have a friend who is in that situation for real. Well, I'm not dating him, so he would have no reason to lie to me. It's someone I met online, but he lives far away, and there's actually never going to, you know, we really are just friends. You know, maybe this guy's lying, but, you know, he is divorced. He's actually legally divorced, and I can confirm that. I actually am able to confirm that he is legally divorced, but they are living in the same house because neither of them has the money really to live. You know, they need the double income. So basically, and they have a young daughter together. So they did come to the agreement that, okay, you know, neither of us can really afford to live alone, so let's just, you know, they have, according to him, but I really do believe it's true. We each have separate bedrooms. The child has access to both of us, which is healthy. We are not, you know, obviously they're not fighting with each other. They're cordial with each other. I don't know how much or how little the little girl understands, but, you know, it sounds like a healthy situation. In their case, it works for them. However, he cannot bring women home, and neither can she. You know, if they have their romantic outings, they meet the person elsewhere, and they arrange, you know, who's going to take care of the kid tonight. You know, kind of, from what I understand, he actually doesn't date very much. He's not. But anyway, so my point again is saying that, yes, there are cases where that does occur, where they might be living together because they have children, because they can't really afford to move out, and it just makes more economic sense, and it's easier logistically for the children, and, you know, they worked it out. That's obviously, you have to be quite mature emotionally and intellectually to be able to do that, but usually that's not true. Usually the guy wants to have a side fling, and it's a perfect excuse. Oh yeah, my wife and I are just, you know, we understand we're legally married because, you know, we haven't gotten divorced yet, but we're just roommates and we can date other people. You know, usually it's a lie. And if you were really crazy in love with someone, of course you're going to believe him. I've fallen for that in when I was younger. But it's almost never true, you know. So don't believe that. And the fifth one isn't really a sign, but you know, I would encourage you can find a lot of stuff on the internet. Google someone's name, first and last name. You know, sometimes people will not, you know, also that's the other thing. If somebody's kind of hiding their last name a little too much, I'm not saying that, you know, you go out with him once or twice, he doesn't want you to know his last name, maybe because you just met. Okay, that's understandable. But if you've been dating for, you know, more than one or two times, you need to know each other's last names, and you need to be able to Google each other. And you'll find things on the internet more than even just that he's married. You know, I had a guy who we were going out. We actually, thank goodness, never got beyond just, you know, a date or two, you know. Well, actually it was more than a date or two, but it never got too serious, thank goodness, because I was already cautious. I already had seen some of these signs that I told you. And so and I, you know, I had his last name, so I Googled him. There he was on Facebook, you know, with his wife and kids, smiling. You know, the profile pics are usually public. You know, the public is able to see them. So, you know, and then you see the comments underneath of what people are saying. So it kind of, if what is said and what is written doesn't match what he had told you, you know, so, you know, you can find just with simply searching someone's name on the internet, you can find out things. If he's married, and then in states where the court records are publicly available online, actually family court in my state, the records are not available online, but the docket is. The docket, and you can see the names of the people involved in the case when it's a family case, whether it be domestic violence, divorce, child custody. That's all, you know, that is not openly available on the internet, but you can get the names of the parties, what the case is about, and that's basically it. So you'll see, for example, Joe Smith, I'm making up a name, and whatever the other person, Mary Jane Doe, dissolution of marriage. And there you can see, okay, there is a case in the court. It doesn't mean that it was finalized or whatever, but you know that the case exists and there were some papers filed. And so then you could see, okay, yeah, he really is divorced, or at least there's records that there's a divorce process in the courts. But you can also find out if there was a domestic violence charge. Again, you won't see the details in the case, but you'll see Joe Smith or Mary Smith versus Joe Smith, or vice versa, domestic violence. And that's all you'll see. You won't see the details or what the person was accused of or anything. And then you'll see if the case was finalized, and you know, that's, you go into your clerk of courts in your state and in your county. And so that's my, you know, quick video, 5 signs that your love interest may be married or otherwise attached. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.